Welcome to my channel. Here we'll talk about toy trains, real trains, vintage vehicles, interesting buildings, beautiful natural places, and some boating and fishing. If you like this type of content, please remember to subscribe. Thank you very much. So today we're talking about servicing the Lionel post-war famous number 022 remote control switches, non-derailing switches. They're pretty awesome. So I just went in here inside the motor and I've cleaned the contacts here, these 4 contacts, and I got it powered up. And this pin throws the frog on the track, which makes the train go whatever direction you want, whatever track you want. So what we're going to do is now put this back together and see the indicator lights let you know if you're going straight or if you're taking the curve, which is pretty awesome. And that could coordinate with the hood you put on here, the green and red light. So what we're going to do is going to screw this all back together and see if it actually works after servicing. Okay. Let's take off all these leads from the transformer, and we'll see if we can get this thing back together with not much problem. I didn't really have to take those off, but I did anyway. So now I'll take the track off as well. As you can see, you could put the motor on any way you want, either this way or this way, depending on how much room or how much access you got on your layout to fit this protruding part here. So most of the time it's like that. And there's this funny little nut, I don't know if you could see it, goes right in there. Again, just like most things Lionel, you need 3 hands to get these things back together. And I only have 2. Okay. So the motor, I'm securing the motor back onto the track. And this is ingenious how this works, the non-derailing feature, how it works. You could power these strictly with track power that you use to run the train, just by normal contact. Or you could have it directly powered right here. And here's one of the ingenious things. The direct power, what happens is, when you put the plug in, it disconnects the track power. It interrupts the track power from this little blade right here. You put it in, now it's got direct power to the motor, and you just disconnected the track power. So it's always got a constant voltage. So we'll put that back down. That's in. We'll get our test track here. So in order to get the non-derailing feature to work, you need to put isolating pins there. Let me move my alcohol. And remove the track pin from here. So now this rail is isolated and insulated at the same time. Get that back together. So when the car's coming down the track, the wheels complete the ground once it hits here. And you could extend that up if you want to make your own insulated rail. And then that'll trigger the frog to move in the proper direction so the train will not derail. Let's see if we can get another piece of test track here. Let's throw a couple pins in here real quick. Hook this up. Again, both the inner rails are isolated and insulated. So this rail and this rail. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hook up our controller, lickety split. We're just going to set the bonnet on to make it look nice. And here's the hood, which you could turn either way, depending on your layout. And of course, this controller is pretty much done. It needs to be rewired. All these wires are so brittle, they're just breaking in my hands as I'm doing this test. But I think we'll be able to do the test anyway. Okay, the controller is now hooked up. Well, we ran into another problem. Underneath, in order to get the wheels to complete the ground, this connection has been disconnected. Right there. Right there. So this has got to be soldered. Let's see if we can get a drop of solder on that to repair that piece. That's why this piece of track in particular was in my not working box. Nope. Still no. Okay, we're going to try something a little different here. We're going to make a little patch. We're going to make a little patch. We're going to patch it up. We're going to make a little patch out of a piece of wire. Let's see if that helps. First of all, what I'm going to do is tin this wire with some solder. And see if we can bridge this gap. I think that did it. We'll cut off the excess. Now let's try it. Make sure there's no wire floating around in there. Okay. Put the motor back on. You got to make sure that pin for the frog is right where it's supposed to be. Like I said, let me see if I can get this camera a little closer so we can see what I'm talking about. So you know that's correct for a train coming from that direction. So what we're going to do is switch it. So now that's incorrect. Now, once the wheels complete the ground between this rail and this rail, the frog should throw. There you go. And the same goes for this way. We'll put the test caboose here on this track. And again, if the train is coming in the wrong direction, or coming from this direction, this is incorrect, and it'll derail. However, once the ground is complete through the trucks, from this rail to this rail, which is the one I repaired, then it's correct. Brilliant. You'll never derail. But, you know, they need maintenance. They need lubrication. The wires are brittle. There's heat. Like, I don't know how many of these hoods I've melted with the wrong bulb. So I'm just going to wait till I get the proper bulb to put that in there. But as you can see, and then on your control panel, this lets you know which way you're going. If you're going to go straight, or if you're going to go through a curve. And that's all powered independently by that connection right there. So there you go. I know it was a little tough, but I don't use this switch anymore. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. Thanks for watching.